So, it's been a while. And let me tell you why. Basically, work is terrible at the moment. So, I haven't been able to do this kind of thing where I talk into this little weird kind of fuzzy thing in front of me, which is a microphone before you get cheeky thoughts. But here we go. I managed to find, it's 8:10 on Friday morning. I managed to find a moment where I don't have some asshole, attacking me directly face on. So here we go, video. It's a tricky time playing Dust, not really, but this is slightly old footage. I think really I just want to make it very clear that I still do like this game. I have a lot of fun, well, did have a lot of fun playing this game, and I do plan to play it a bit more once I get a bit of time, but life being life is terrible. Let me tell you a story. So basically I was on the Tube. That's not some weird sexual implement, that is the London Underground for those not in the know. And I was stood there in my suit and my little attaché case. I don't actually have an attaché case because I'm not 50 with a moustache and weird beard. Anyway, so I'm stood there on the Tube and it's like 45 degrees. I don't mean Fahrenheit because that'd be cold. I mean 45 degrees Celsius, the bad kind. And it was so hot that I was literally sweating from every pore, orifice, etc. Picture it. Go on, picture it. So anyway, it was horrendous, and I'm there, and I'm waiting for my train to arrive, and there's this incredibly cute young lady in front of me wearing one of these kind of, all-in-one dress suit things, you know what I mean? And she's just looking very nice. I know, about 5'6", 5'7", blonde, actually a bit taller than her, I think 5'9" maybe, and blonde, not young. But hang on, no, I'm not saying she's a granny. She didn't have one of those wheelie chairs for her shopping. No. She was, I think, maybe around, I don't know, sort of late 20s. And we exchanged glances. I gave her the old swagger. No, I didn't really. I sort of looked down very quickly because I'm actually quite a shy, nervous guy in real life. Anyway, we get on to so the Tube arrives and I get on. You're wondering where the story's going. It's one of these rambling stories again, I'm afraid. So anyway, we get on and we're just packed. The Tube is always packed, so we're just like completely pressed together, and I'm trying not to do this because obviously I don't want to sort of invade her space. But anyway, we end up getting pretty drawn together, but we're face on, and we sort of exchange a kind of look that says, "Oh, Tube again. Oh, what are we gonna do?" So anyway, long story short, we're then like flying along into the tubes of death and heat. And I start to get very, very hot. Very hot. And before you think it, no, I didn't get hard on. Steady on there. Steady on. Anyway, we get to the point where I'm just starting to really sweat, like massively sweat. Now, I'm 6'4", so I'm quite tall. I did sort of tower over this young lady. And she's, we're both kind of like doing that thing. Nobody talks on the Tube because that would mean instant death from the Tube minions of death. And we were just sort of exchanging glances saying, oh, God. And then I didn't realise, but I was sweating quite heavily from the brow. And basically, she could see this because she kept looking up at my head, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm on here. I'm on. And then basically I started dripping sweat on her. Yeah. And it could not have gone worse when she basically turned her back to me. and basically started to push away from me. And it was at that moment I thought, I shouldn't be sweating this much. So yeah, health is a big thing, ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen. So I decided that it'd be about time to start getting fit again. So that's also something I've been doing. There you go, very weird story that segued into that. Work's a killer at the moment as well. I will talk about the game. Don't worry, I know we're watching Dust, but you're hearing about my life because this is some weird Snapchat, Facebook, shitty blog now. Well, there you go, it is. A lot of people have asked me where I've gone, and this is the reason. No, we've not given up on YouTube. A lot of people are. Let's just talk about the business of YouTube. YouTube used to pay relatively good money. I'm not going to tell you how much because that would be crass and base. But it doesn't anymore. And this is because a lot of the licensing and advertising, I guess, rights have changed. And this is why some of your kind of very big favourite YouTubers are probably having a very bad time at the moment, as Schley would say, because what's happening is they're not getting the same, they're still getting the same amount of views, they're getting the same amount of clicks, but they're not getting paid as much per click now. So basically that means a lot of YouTubers, and you'll probably notice this, but again, I'll be interested to know who you've noticed, but a lot of them are now doing live events, because that's something you can actually charge quite a bit of money for. So a lot of people are doing these Twitch things. So a lot of people are twitching, for example, and a lot of people are doing live streams on YouTube, and it's just because that is pretty much the only way that you can get the revenue of old today. So interesting stuff. But we haven't given up on YouTube. It's just become one of those things that with a packed diary, it becomes very difficult. So as I was saying, my work is hell at the moment. This comes from a number of reasons, none of which I'm going to get into, but it's just a very hectic time for me at the moment. So I'm finding myself in the office more. I'm finding myself having to talk with absolute kind of shirted monkeys from day to day now, and I'm just surprised that so many people can actually talk and walk at the same time. It just is one of those things, I guess, but there we go. So I'm not having a great deal of time for games at the moment. Sometimes in your life, and you'll find this, that real life starts to really become a big component of what you do. And I think the best thing to do is just embrace it. So, with the work thing at the moment, it's interesting. It's a bit boring actually, but it's not, it's not anything that I have control over. So you just got to do what you got to do, if you know what I mean. It's a funny thing. It's just a way of life. You got to pay those bills. Often I find that in the work world, you do generally find that actually you could do the same job for the same money for a lot less hassle. So my advice to you is move around every 3 years and build your wage up every 3 years, move about. Anyway, there we go. Stuff going on in Dust, I have no idea actually. I don't know. I have not read, seen, watched anything on Deuced 514. I'm hoping it's still on. I'm sure I would have heard about that, but I am still active on Twitter, so I got linked to a post that asked if I was dead. Thanks very much. Thank you. That's very kind. Thank you. I'm not dead. This isn't gas escaping, although some people often mistake it for that. But I think, hopefully Dust is still going strong. I kind of see good stuff. I lie. I do watch some of Jolly's stuff. So Jolly is an absolute brosef. If you don't watch his stuff, you're what are you doing? Come on. Go watch Yo Jolly Roger. He is fantastic. And he does some pretty funny PC stuff. PC seems to be where a lot of the challenge is now, and it'll be interesting to maybe I should run a PC battle. I don't know. I've never really bothered, because being online at a particular time is a bit too much like work for me. I get kind of sent emails that say, right, can you be in this location for this time to talk to this person, do this, do that, then fuck off. So okay, so I'm basically a kind of more intelligent robot. And I think PC starts to come that way a bit as well. Oh, look at that, by the way. Look at that. Almost killed the tank. One shot. So, see, I did refer to the game. Come on, I did. So I think generally, there are going to be a few things in Dust that I have no idea what's going on. So I do apologise for that. But I'm sure you don't come to this channel for excellence in gaming, because lol. And I'm sure you don't come to this channel for the news of what's going on in Dust 514, because I have no idea. Oh, I did hear the CPM's on again, and that surprised me a bit. Why are they replacing the CPM so suddenly? Did they always say it was going to be every year? It feels a bit like much every year. I quite like the CPM that's in now. Just saying. I know that's probably going to be unpopular with a lot of you, but I thought the CPM in now, obviously missing Bam Havoc, so I think if they just took the CPM now and put Bam Havoc in it, I'd be happy, to be honest, because you would have the right mix of fun and, I guess, knowledge in the same place. But, I mean, when you look at what CCP have brought in for this game, it's changed more in the last, year than probably ever before, hasn't it? I mean, I don't know, post in comments. Do you agree with that? I feel it has. Because you've had loads of stuff brought in. I mean, hang on, let me qualify that. You've had maybe a lot of nice changes, like this ship upgrade, the war barge upgrade system. That's all right. I quite like the idea of that. And others. I'm I don't know, to be honest, but it feels like they've actually had a pretty good year, to be honest. And I don't know. I think the CPM 1 have done pretty good job. So I don't know. I think a lot of you maybe were expecting me to quote shit talk that CPM. Nah, you can't really have a go at them for presiding and giving good feedback to the point where they've added some pretty useful things. I mean, okay, the war barge upgrade system is Clash of Clans, let's not forget that, but I don't know, to me it feels alright, you know? I mean, I don't know, I remember playing this game, and this wasn't that long ago, and it was probably one of the last few games I played, but I tell you what, I had fun with it. I think my problem is I'm very limited in what I do. I mean, as you can see, I just don't really... I'm a terrible shot as well, good God. But then again, like I say, you don't come to this channel for pumping techno music over somebody slaying the shit out of the other team and making them quit. Oh, flipping heck. Anyway, so there we go. I think, to be honest, it's a tricky time. Or did I say, what's my catchphrase? I keep forgetting what I say. The reality of it is, there you go. The reality of it is, that work's a bitch at the moment. If it didn't pay me so well, I wouldn't give a monkeys. But, you know, it's a funny thing. Let me tell you another story. A mate of mine, and I probably have told this before, but let me just tell you it. A mate of mine was a champion mechanic. And he loved cars, and he got his dream job at Subaru ProDrive, right? No lie, absolutely. He was one of the mechanics of the Subaru Rally team, and this was a while back. And it was his dream job, and he loved it and everything about it. And long story short, I met up with him and had a chat, and he basically said, the worst thing I ever did. And I was like, why is that? He said, because you should never mix your hobby and your career. And I thought, that's interesting, because you then begin to resent your hobby. Your hobby is something you do by choice for fun. When you start doing it, obviously, for money and for your day-to-day bread, it can become a bit shit. So, you know, I think there is a wise word in there. So even if you're interested in games and YouTube and all that, put yourself into the enjoyment of something else that you'll make money from, and I think that's a better way to do it. So this is why we're not doing obsessively YouTube at the moment, and it's not like we live off it. So in fact, you know, the money I think buys a packet of pork scratchings now. If you don't know what pork scratchings are, it's basically where they peel the skin off a pig, roast it, put it in salt, and then serve it to people in bars who've had way too much to drink. And you think I'm joking? Nope, I'm not. There we go. So I think generally, yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm glad that Dust is still going. Quote unquote, I think it is. But generally, you know, I think it's pretty fun still. I'm looking forward to playing it a bit more. I just don't have the time at the moment. But I am looking forward to one day just switching it on and having a go. Let me know if there's any PC people out there who'd fancy a match. Obviously, my time and diary are shocking, so you know, as long as you're doing it on a Friday night or a Saturday night, English time, that is, then fair enough. But otherwise, I'm not hearing great things about the public matches, just because they're a little bit kind of stompy still. And I'm hearing a lot of people are moving on to things like PlanetSide 2 on PS4. Schley and I were having a conversation on Skype, and not a real one, because we don't cyber. It was a written one, before you get cheeky. And he was basically telling me about PlanetSide 2, as on PS4 has got quite a lot of people from Dust playing it now. So again, you know, I think don't evacuate. It's still a great game. As just watching this footage, it makes you remember how much fun I had in it. So yeah, I think, you know, it's a funny time. I think sometimes summer is not the best you could do. Other things obviously coming out. So Terraria 1.3 update is out. Yes, I am a small little girl called Sandra who wants to play Mario-esque style adventures. I like Terraria. I played it from when it was an alpha, right? And I've always enjoyed it. So they've just released a new version of it, and it's very good. It's got an expert mode on it. There you go. That's what Dust should do. They should have an expert mode, and it should be a series of matches where the rewards are double, but only experts go and do it. There you go. I just solved all of the problems. So there we go. I know I didn't talk much about the game. I know I didn't talk much about anything. We are still doing videos, don't worry. It's not exactly a primary focus at the moment. So if you haven't unsubscribed and you're not talking shit about me, then I love you very much. If you did unsubscribe and you're talking shit about me, I love you even more. No, I'm kidding. Don't unsubscribe. Don't. We will come back and play other games, and I know I've been ignoring a lot of people when they've been messaging me and that. I am sorry about that, but I can't, you know, I don't want to get into a conversation and they, oh, sorry, bro, I've got a call to go to. I think the best thing at the moment is get into the game and enjoy it and have fun. Hope you enjoyed that. See you next time, maybe.